So let me look through the slides, see if there's something I want to talk about, and then I will actually end this session generating a quiz item for the next week. Um, yeah, and then I think there's one kind of hiatus for the one break week for the timed assessment week, and then yeah, so I think I will generate quiz item on a weekly basis, and I think this might actually, so this one I would rename it as week 6, and then and I think this is good to have it here. If some of you want to try out your own knowledge of the topics, then great, please give it a try. If nothing else, I think it might be useful just for use during the meeting. Now, one question I have is, if I do retake quiz, will it be a different question? Nah, so I think questions themselves are not renewed. Uh, yeah, yeah. So questions themselves are the exact same questions. Um, yeah, it's fine. Let me look at the slides. So this is the oscillations and waves slide, the physics of oscillations and waves. I'm kind of looking at it for the first time with you. I haven't had a chance to review the slides before. Let me do this thing. I'm just gonna hide this away. Do I want to? I'm just. This is, I guess, more of a matter of habit. This is what I do when I record the chapter overview videos, and I'm using the mind map generated by Notebook LM. I hide the good content, bad content label. So, I don't know. Can you revise? I think revise just means, oh, that's interesting. You can revise. Huh. I might use that more. That's interesting. I didn't know that was possible. Uh, and you can download the PowerPoint. Why did I think you couldn't download the PowerPoint before? Let me see. I thought based on what I was seeing here before, it's possible that this is maybe I think I would guess it's a recent feature. So let me just check. Let's see. The most recent slides I made is this one. And if I had to guess, if I try to download, yeah. And yeah, you couldn't, okay, I guess you could revise before. I just didn't know you could. um, uh, yeah, so here, if you're downloading, it'll just download the PDF, the one thing. But yeah, revising slides, I didn't know that was possible. So that makes the feature much more, well, useful and potentially interesting to use. So right now, with only like 15 minutes left, I won't revise anything. Let me just hide this again and just look through the slides and just say what I want to say. So I got 15 slides. I got maybe 1 minute per slide. So physics of oscillations and waves, from simple harmonic oscillation to complex, not the best word choice, interference. Because complex could mean like complex numbers, which in my other class I do use as a way to handle wave interference. Yeah, interference is not just about waves canceling out. It's all about how they interact. That's the word I try to avoid, because superposition principle, one way to describe it is that waves don't interact. They are independent of each other. Superpose to create new complex patterns, including points of maximum intensity and complete silence. Yeah, that's the standing wave pattern. Now, it's not really showing nodes all that well. I guess maybe it's let me move on. I think this drawing is actually not quite accurate. So let me move on. The universal rhythm of periodic motion. So I think this is a buoy. Like if you push it down a little, then it's bobbing up and down. Can be approximated as simple harmonic oscillator motion, pendulum, and this is spring. I can't tell what that is. Oscillate, moving back and forth regularly between 2 points. Periodic motion, a motion that repeats itself. Yeah. Now, not everything that oscillates is a simple harmonic oscillator. But I guess, let me move on. The anatomy of an oscillation. You got a mass on a spring. That's the kind of paradigmatic setup for simple harmonic oscillator as it oscillates up and down. The period is the time it takes to complete one full cycle. Now you have to define a cycle. What is a cycle? So you would say it's the smallest kind of portion of the motion after which it begins to repeat itself. So if you are starting from equilibrium, let's say moving upward, then as it moves up and down, comes back to equilibrium, not a cycle yet, because before it was moving up, now it's moving down, it's not quite repeating itself. But it moves past down and then comes back up. When it comes back here, that's when it's a cycle. Because after that, what happens again, it's a repetition of something that happened before. Frequency is the reciprocal of period, really. Number of events per unit of time. And yeah, the reciprocal relationship. Oh, this must be a textbook example. That was also in the quiz. And simple harmonic oscillator motion and the restoring force, Hooke's law. You know, I might split the quiz into 2 parts. One quiz that's textbook quiz, and another quiz that's a lecture quiz. Maybe I might do that. Negative sign means the spring force always opposes the display. Yeah, and we did cover Hooke's law earlier in mechanics, and here, so in my other class we would have written down the equation of motion. Here, I forget what I covered in the lecture. I might have just left it here. Like simple harmonic motion needs this linear restoring force, and the defining feature is that you get a natural frequency of oscillation, which is natural frequency of oscillation. The amplitude does not affect the natural frequency. So with the pendulum, small amplitude, so you can approximate it as a simple harmonic oscillator, then you will find that whether it's a small or large oscillation, you get the same period. You have to change the physical system itself. This, I'm pretty sure, comes from the lecture. That sounds like the wording from the lecture. 6. Oscillations to traveling waves. Core definition, always disturbance that moves from its source. Sure. So in the lectures, what I do is I avoid defining waves altogether. Really, because a wave phenomena is such a wide range of phenomena. I think definition like this will, you can find examples where it doesn't quite fit that. So what a wave is, it's a phenomena that obeys wave equation. And wave equation is it's a partial differential equation that that you can mathematically write down. That's how I define waves. If something obeys a wave equation, because there's a couple different wave equations. If something obeys a wave equation, then it's a wave. I know it sounds circular, but it's sort of inevitable with the things that are ubiquitous. Like, how do you define the word is? Depends on the meaning of is. So, anyways, architecture of wave. So this is the wavelength. It's like the spatial version of the period. So, you know, starting from here, and when it comes back here, after that it repeats itself. So it's the smallest unit that starts to repeat. This is the peak, trough, equilibrium. So here you are measuring wavelength peak to peak. You can also measure it trough to trough. If you are measuring from equilibrium to equilibrium, you have to be careful. You can't stop here. You have to find the equilibrium where the slope is also the same. And this is a really important formula. I'm glad it's in such a nice big size, because this is the one formula you would use in the wave chapter quite a few times. A question might give you the frequency and wavelength and ask you for wave speed. Use this calculated. And and the wave velocity is often constant unless you do something to change the medium itself. So really, when you change the frequency, what that changes as a result is the wavelength, not the velocity. Yeah, transverse and longitudinal. I think I mentioned this just so that I can say I've mentioned it. It's quite independent of all the other topics we cover in oscillations and waves. So, like, if I never covered the transverse and longitudinal, we can still talk about all the other wave phenomena. But but I would have left a gap if people don't have this vocabulary of what does longitudinal waves mean. Yeah, superposition principle. When they overlap, they just simply add, and they separate as if they just didn't interact with each other. They don't interact at all. They pass right through each other. Kind of different from my hands. My hands don't pass through each other. They push each other. They interact. But waves, they don't interact. At least not in a linear medium. In a non-linear medium, something might happen. But that's the linearity and superposition principle are closely linked together. When a superposition principle holds, that's because the underlying medium is linear, and vice versa. Linear medium results in superposition principle. Okay, 5 more slides. How am I doing on time? Oh yeah, I'm doing good on time. So, slide 11. Constructive. Can I? Okay. Constructive and destructive interference. Constructive interference, yeah, as two things are adding, they are kind of in the same direction, so they add together for a bigger impact. Signal, size, effect. Again, waves are very general. Destructive interference, two things have opposite phase. While one's going up, the other's going down, and they kind of cancel out. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, the energy hasn't vanished. I point this out in the lecture. So this is like a snapshot, but these sections of the strings are moving, so they have kinetic energy. Yeah, this is great. Oh, yeah, these are great slides. If I had a chance to like review it, think of what I want to say, then I could give a fair presentation based on this. Yeah, standing with and the illusion of stillness. Yeah. That's the standing part of standing wave. At least that's my phrase. So people remember what standing waves are. And yeah, harmonics. So here the constraint is that you have nodes at the end. Ends are tied down. That's where you will have nodes. Now you can have additional nodes. Here's an additional node. Here are 2 additional nodes, and those additional nodes make the wavelength shorter. Which means higher frequency. That's what you are seeing here. You can see visually the wavelengths are shorter. This is half a wavelength. This is a full wavelength, and the full wavelength and another half. Interference in time. Oh yeah, this is for the beats. So here on the horizontal axis, you have to imagine that you are plotting your time. So I think they are exaggerating the difference between these two, 500 and 505 hertz. So as they oscillate, so I guess can I show this? No, my pinch zoom doesn't quite work in this interface. Or maybe this will work. So you can find the moment in time, like here. These two are in phase. When one goes up, the other goes down. So as they add, your overall amplitude is big, double any one of these two. And over time, there are later moments in time, like here, where they destructively interfere. As one goes up, the other goes down. So this is the moment in time when your amplitude will have gone down to 0. And the beat, kind of what you hear, comes from kind of that happening over and over. Amplitude increases, decreases, increases, decreases. Yeah. Okay, last slide, 15. Applying wave speed, how far away of the lightning? Oh, I think it's getting this from the homework question that's towards the end of the slides. So I do think the slides would have been probably better if I separated out the textbook chapter and the lecture. So let me do it this way. So let's just prepare next 2 weeks material, so I don't have to kill time waiting for these assets to generate. So let's do this. So I can, sorry. So let's Yeah, that's the PDF that I didn't really want. So next week's lectures will be on rotation and fluids. Oh, those are kind of two disparate topics. But let's give this a try. So lecture, I'll excerpt 358 through 415. I think I can do that because I didn't feel like notebook LM was hallucinating anything. It wasn't confused by the fact that it doesn't have access to complete set of lectures. So I think it's fine. I'll just use this week's the just the lectures, not the table of contents. So let this run from 358 to 415, and I'll be naming it for week 7. So I think what I need to do is add the source. Week 7 source here. And when it's all added, so I think I'm generating 4 assets. And I think I can just do the default one. I want do it separately, and I guess I'll figure out. I think I can figure out by order. Let me first do it based on the textbook chapters. So I think it'll have to be 6 and 7, because 6 is rotation and I think 7 is fluid. Yeah. So I would have to do 6 rotation, 7 fluids. So the textbook version, I'll select both of them. So select no sources, and then 6 and 7 for next week's material. And with these 2 sources selected, I'm generating a slide deck and a quiz. And hope I'll remember by order and number of sources which one is textbook based and which one is lecture based. And based on the lectures, I'll also do a slide deck and a quiz. And I'll come back to this next week and just go through the quiz myself. And slide deck I might not do anything with, because if I want to do the timed assessment demos next week, then I don't think I'll have more time than just doing this version of the quiz. So yeah, I think I feel good about what we covered at this session. Kind of trying to figure out what can I do here that's meaningful. And so let me wrap up here. We are at the hour, and I've done everything that's worthwhile doing. I'll rename those later. Thank you to those of you joining by recorded video, and I will see you next time.